Junior Minister VK Singh has claimed that the state administration should be held responsible and accountable for the killings in Faridabad. But his analogy that he drew on this when he spoke about even if a dog is killed, the state government should not be held responsible. That has drawn ire of the opposition. Manish Tiwari, the Congress leader, is with us on the phone line. Mr. Tiwari, we were talking earlier when the phone line got disconnected. This analogy that has been used by the union minister, it reflects poorly not only on him but also on the government.
Well, you're right about the phone lines in the first place. Ever since my friend Mr. Ravi Shankar Prasad has taken over as telecom minister, he's crashed the telecom networks of this country. But be that as it may, coming to General VK Singh, this statement is absolutely preposterous. Here is a gentleman who headed the Indian Army, known for its professionalism in the most difficult of counter-insurgency situations. An army which goes through a sensitization program as to how to deal with people in conflict situations. And you have the former head of that institution, who unfortunately happens to be a minister in the current government, comparing the deaths of two little Dalit children who were burnt alive to possibly the stoning of a dog. What could be more preposterous and abominable than that? And this reflects a mindset in this government. If you would recall, the Prime Minister of India made a similar analogy about 2 years back in an interview to Reuters, when he said that if a pup gets crushed under the wheels of a car, that needs to be empathized too. And the remark was in the context of the Gujarat pogrom.
Mr. Tiwari, I would request you, sir, to please stay on with me, because we are now being joined by Udit Raj of the BJP. He is a member of parliament from Delhi.
Well, I have said what I had to, and I am not getting into a debate on a phono. Thank you very much.
All right, Mr. Tiwari, leaving us there. Mr. Raj, I would just like to ask you your first reaction to what Mr. VK Singh has said. He has used the analogy of a dog when he was talking about the brutal burning, the murder of two toddlers, Dalit toddlers in Haryana, sir.
A statement, and in fact somebody asked him in context of wide ranges of incidents had taken, and then of course he gave the reference, but you could not just make it analogous to this. And one, and second thing, I had visited that village, and what I gathered from there and interacted with a number of the people, that it has been a...
Sir, no matter... I'm sorry I'm interrupting you, but no matter what the question was, when you're talking about such a sensitive matter, where tempers are still high, how can you even use, how can you even bring in an analogy of a dog, sir?
Paragraph, then of course, and make just derive a conclusion about that particular sentence. It doesn't mean that you are talking in the whole context. So this has been observed for a long time. Of course, very often this is repeated in media.
Mr. Raj, you are seen as a Dalit face within the BJP.
Whatever it
the question was being asked. The question that was being asked was about how the failure of the administration in Haryana. The minister chose to use this analogy. Sir, you are trying to defend him on that?
See, it's no question of defending and no question of attacking. It's a question of that I am asking asking the veracity of the question asked by you. In fact, what happened, the minister must have spoken in wide ranges of context. So why are you comparing it with Sanped? In Sanped, I had been over there and I could find that it's past rivalry. So you can't force anybody to give the statement against his desire and his...
Sir, nobody forced him to give any statement. He was speaking to the media. A question was asked of him about the failure of administration in the state of Haryana on the killing of these two Dalit children. On that, he used this analogy himself. Sir, is this become a fashion in the BJP just to blame the media for the statements that the ministers make?
Yes. Sometimes what happens, if you take out one sentence out of whole paragraph or whole text or a statement made by one person,
yes,
then of course it's losing the meaning of the intention of the person.
Yes.
See, it may happen in this case, and I told you that I've heard it, because media person asked that in
Yes.
so many incidents.
Mr. Raj, Mr. Raj, I would just request you to stay on with me, sir. I'm now joined by CPIM's Vrinda Khairat on the phone line. Ma'am, I'm just speaking to BJP MP, Mr. Udit Raj, who's saying that the media quoted him out of context. It seems to be our fault, not Mr. VK Singh's.
अरे उदित राज जी को तो पता होना चाहिए. He was very much in the movement at one time before he joined the communal anti-Dalit forces. So I don't want to take any issue with him. But on VK Singh's comment, this is the arrogance of casteism. His statement is a clear casteist statement, and it comes under the provisions of the Prevention of Crimes Against Scheduled Caste Act. Therefore, this gentleman has to be booked under the Act for casteism and casteist comments. Secondly, how can such a man remain in the central cabinet? Of course, we all know that Modi ji at one time had talked about puppies in relation to a particular community. But at least now that he is Prime Minister, hopefully he will get over his own prejudices and take action against this person. Because nobody in the country can accept this. The entire country, regardless of caste, is outraged by this the barbarity of killing 2 babies,
Yes.
burning them to death. And lastly, if I may say so,
Yes.
he's trying to influence the investigation by calling it a personal dispute. He's a central minister. A central agency is investigating it. How can he already prejudge the issue and call it a personal dispute, thereby trying to influence the investigation?
Absolutely, absolutely. Mr. Raj is still with us.
वृंदा जी ने जो बोला, उन्होंने जो एक बात कही कि जाति उत्पात का या जातीय झगड़ा है, मैंने खुद भी यही देखा है वहाँ पर कि साल भर का पुराना झगड़ा है, कोई नया झगड़ा नहीं है, वो जात के आधार पर है. पिछले बार सारे दबंग पूरे के पूरे दबंग झुंड के झुंड उस गांव में घुस गए थे. इस बार और साल भर वहाँ के दलित प्रताड़ित होते रहे.
Hello? Okay, we seem to have lost Ms. Vrinda Khairat on that line. Mr. Raj, sir, but the question that Vrinda Khairat was also raising, in fact, we've lost both the leaders on the phone line there, but the first BJP voice that we get defending very, very similar lines that we have always heard, that Mr. VK Singh was misquoted. It is the problem is with the media taking things out of context. Let me now play you that reaction once again. What Mr. VK Singh, Union Minister, had said.
कभी स्थानीय घटनाओं का सरकार से ताल्लुक मत रखिए. उसके ऊपर इंक्वायरी चल रही है. परिवारों के बीच में मतभेद था, वो मतभेद किस रूप में परिवर्तित हुआ, कहां पर इंतजामिया का फेलियर है, एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन का, उसके बाद फिर सरकार के ऊपर आते हैं. तो हर चीज के अंदर कि जी वहां पे उसने पत्थर मार दिया कुत्ते के तो सरकार जिम्मेवार है, ऐसे नहीं है.
Okay, VK Singh's controversial Dalit analogy with dogs brings back memories of another Kenyan shocker from the Prime Minister 2 years ago. Then Gujarat Chief Minister, Prime Minister Narendra Modi, had earlier sparked outrage when he said he felt remorse even when a puppy was run over by his car, responding to a question on the killings of Muslims in Gujarat. Here's the clip of that interview.
हम अगर कार चला रहे हैं, वी आर अ ड्राइवर और कोई ड्राइव कर रहा है और हम पीछे बैठे, फिर भी एक छोटा कुत्ते का बच्चा भी अगर कार के नीचे आ जाता है तो हमें पेन फील होता है कि नहीं? होता है. मैं अगर मुख्यमंत्री हूं या नहीं हूं, मैं एक इंसान हूं, कहीं पर भी कुछ बुरा होगा तो दुख होना बहुत स्वाभाविक है.